Good morning and welcome to the opening ceremony for the 50th Executive Council meeting and Caribbean ICT Ministers Seminar and Inaugural Retreat. My name is Janelle Mencias and this is
Erwin Wiltz. Apologies, Erwin Wiltz.
And we are your hosts for today's opening ceremony. To begin, I'd like to invite you to join me in standing for the playing of the Belizean National Anthem. This morning, the anthem will be played on marimba by Los Hijos del West. Thank you very much for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. I ask that you remain standing for the playing of the Belizean National Prayer.
Almighty and eternal God, who through Jesus Christ has revealed your glory to all nations, please protect and preserve Belize, our beloved country. God of might, wisdom, and justice, please assist our Belizean government and people with your Holy Spirit of counsel and fortitude. Let the light of your divine wisdom direct their plans and endeavors, so that with your help we may attain our just objectives. With your guidance, may all our endeavors tend to peace, social justice, liberty, national happiness, the increase of industry, sobriety, and useful knowledge. We pray, O God of mercy, for all of us, that we may be blessed in the knowledge and sanctified in the observance of your most holy law, that we may be preserved in union and in that peace which the world itself cannot give. And after enjoying the blessings of this life, please admit us, dear Lord, to that eternal reward that you have prepared for those who love you. Amen.
Thank you for that beautiful rendition of already beautiful national anthem. As you take your seats, I'd like to share a brief history of the group. Los Hijos de los West is a musical group based in Belize's westernmost town of Venqueviejo del Carmen. The group was formed in 2013 to preserve the rich culture of music and tradition that the community holds. However, today, the group has explored other genres of music, playing everything from local Belizean tunes to popular songs like Hotel California and Despacito. We know in the Caribbean, we have the popular steel pan. Here in Belize, we also have steel pan, but we're proud of our marimba here in Belize, and we appreciate their very unique sound and their very unique instrument. And now I'd like to pass it on to Miss Janelle. Yes, a round of applause for the excellent musical performance by Los Hijos del West. And now I'd like to pass it on to my co-host, Ms. Janelle, for the official introductions.
Good morning once again, and thankfully not a very warm morning in San Ignacio. I know it's been a couple very warm days. So, the government and people of Belize are pleased to partner with the CTU to host ICT ministers from across the Caribbean for 3 milestone events: the 50th Executive Council meeting, the 21st Caribbean Ministerial Strategic ICT Seminar, and a first of its kind inaugural ministerial retreat. The events are set to fortify regional collaboration and chart a new direction for ICT-driven progress, thereby transforming ICT in the region. Before we move on with the program, I'd like to acknowledge our distinguished guests joining us today. The Honorable Michelle Shabat, Minister of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, and E-Governance of the Government of Belize, Honorable Ministers of Anguilla, Barbados, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, the Bahamas, and the Turks and Caicos. Also joining us today are Honorable Ministers of the Government of Belize, Honorable Kevin Bernard, Minister of Health and Wellness, Honorable Dr. Louis Zabani, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology. We're also joined by Senator the Honorable Hassel Bacchus, President of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union and Minister of Digital Transformation of Trinidad and Tobago. Other government officials from the Government of Belize. Dr. Cosmas Zavazava, Director of the Telecommunications Development Bureau of the International Telecommunication Union, ITU. Mr. Cleveland Thomas, Area Representative for the Caribbean of the ITU, Permanent Secretaries, heads of regional organizations and members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of our Executive Council, partners and sponsors, specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen here and those joining us online. Good morning.
Getting into the official program, our first speaker is Senator the Honorable Hassel Bacchus. He has had over 30 years of professional work in the telecommunications field. Not surprisingly, he was appointed Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of Digital Transformation in 2021. He has previously served as the Minister of Public Administration and Digital Transformation from 2020. I'd like to invite Minister Bacchus, the President of the CTU, to deliver his opening remarks. Minister?
Just leave them from the side. All right. Right.
You should be over here.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
All right. Thank you.
Just separate these for you.
Yeah, that's good. Please allow me to stand on the protocols established before, but permit me to
say good morning to the Honorable Michelle Savat, the Minister of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, E-Governance, and Government of Belize, our host, and thank you very much for that. Honorable Ministers from Anguilla, Barbados, Dominica, St. Kitts, Nevis, Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, but mostly again, the Honorable Ministers from the Government of Belize who I've just had the pleasure of meeting. Thank you so much for taking the time from your busy schedules to be here. Other government officials, my good friend and colleague in a number of ways, Dr. Cosmos Avazava, the ITU, thank you. Cleveland also from the ITU, Mr. Cleveland Thomas, who's the area representative. The heads of regional organizations, members of the executive councils, partners, sponsors, permanent secretaries, guests, etc. A very, very, very pleasant good morning to all of you. As president of the CTU, I'm honored to bring to you on behalf of the 20 member states, the CTU Secretariat, our private sector members, specialized government institutions, and civil society holders. I'm really pleasured to bring you greetings. I should express at the outset my profound appreciation to the government of Belize for its hospitality. And since we arrived here in San Ignacio, in this beautiful district of Keo, Honorable Minister Chirata and the Minister of Public Utilities, etc., have provided us with the best accommodations, certainly the most warm and friendly people, and it really is, this is a testament to the people of Belize. You're putting on what is exceptionally a really good show. I thank you very much for what is happening in Belize. In addition, as a member of the General Conference of Ministers of the CTU, same Honorable Minister Shivat has shown a significant and continued interest in the work of the CTU. He's been at a lot of our meetings, he's been with us all the time, and expressed a desire last year to host a meeting here in beautiful Belize, and I'm really, really happy that we've been able to make that happen, and a lot of this speaks to your stick-to-itiveness and willingness to continue to bring us here. So thank you again for doing that. We hosted the 50th meeting of the Executive Council of the CTU and the 21st Ministerial Strategic ICT Conference Seminar yesterday. And the Executive Council, made up of permanent secretaries, chief technical advisors to the ministers of the CTU, and others, yesterday approved the membership of Huawei and EchoStar to the CTU as private sector members. And I think that is a significant accomplishment. And please give Huawei and EchoStar a round of applause. We could not accomplish the work that we do with respect to regional policy development, capacity building, and advocacy in the international fora without a multiple of stakeholders regionally and internationally. So as we continue to grow that fold, I become even more encouraged. SG, I know you had a lot to do with that in leading us in that charge. So again, my thanks to all of you. And so yesterday we engaged in a number of issues of concern to all of us collectively. And I'll mention some of them. We spoke about 5G as a transformative technology, challenges and opportunities within the Caribbean, cybersecurity and trust as we roll out these digital services. We spoke about green energy and the development of that within the Caribbean. And again, Belize is leading the way with where we are with that. We had Honorable Congress Maynard speak about what is happening in St. Kitts as well. I think we're well on the way to doing what we're doing, and we certainly can learn a lot from what we're doing with one another. So these are, the discussions were informative, and they gave us an opportunity to take a serious look at these critical issues. And as you would expect, these are fundamental to our vision and mission for a digitally transformed Caribbean society. So it was very important. We had a very good day yesterday. Today, however, is a special day as we launch the inaugural ministerial retreat with an objective of engaging with our key stakeholders in the development of a new four-year strategic plan for the CTU. The CTU, as you may be aware, was established by CARICOM heads of government in 1989, and this year we celebrate 35 years. And again, I think that is worthy of a round of applause. To keep anything in the Caribbean together for 35 years deserves recognition. Much has changed in the telecommunication and technological landscape since then, And as the technology has evolved, so must the organization, and that is if it is to remain relevant to meet the needs of its members. We are in the midst of an era described by some as the fourth industrial revolution, and that's characterized by the fusion of a number of things, digital things specifically, the biological and physical worlds, the introduction of new and fairly new technologies, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, robotics, 3D printing, Internet of Things, advanced wireless technologies, biotech, virtual reality, augmented reality, I can go on and on and on, autonomous vehicles, etc., and including renewable energy and other technical innovations. So a lot is changing. But you may or may not agree with me, but for me, I guess, at my age, I consider that there is no other greater period in human history and no greater time to be alive than today. And a lot of what we're doing here is changing and shaping the future of what is going to come. But yesterday, Dr. Zavazava, who is the director of the Bureau of Telecoms Department of the ITU, who is sitting right there, spoke during his remarks at the ministerial seminar. I believe, Dr. Zava, the words you spoke were attributed to a former minister of Saudi Arabia. But he quoted the former minister, so I will quote you. And the quote was, "We did not leave the Stone Age because we ran out of stones." I'll say it again. We did not leave the Stone Age because we ran out of stones. End of quote. And with your leave, Dr. Zawazar, I think the statement was metaphorical as it highlights the concepts of technological progress and innovation. It implies that human societies do not advance or transition to new stages of their development solely because they exhaust the resources and tools of their current state, as in this case, stones and the Stone Age. I will use it, and I'm not sure I will always give you credit. Instead, our progress occurs when new ideas, innovations, and technologies emerge that offer better alternatives of solutions, and solutions, leading to the adoption of more advanced practices or tools. So what I'm saying to you today is that while there may be challenges and concerns with respect to all of those technologies that I alluded to earlier, let's embrace these technologies and use them towards the advancement of our societies. And while we seek to advance our national agendas in this regard, and this is also critically important, let us be cognizant of the regional imperative. The phrase, "we are stronger together," should be our mantra as we move forward. This conveys the idea that collective unity and collaboration among individuals, groups, or communities leads to greater strength, resilience, and effectiveness as compared to individual efforts or isolation. And we've seen numerous examples of that within the CTU. And again, this is where the CTU comes in. This is where the CTU has a pride of place. If we believe and support CARICOM, and I know we do, if we believe in and support regional integration, and I know we do, then we must support institutions such as the CTU, and we must support it now more than ever. Its relevance continues to grow. Dr. Zavazava, your Caribbean, the Caribbean is grateful for your support, and this support extends beyond and before your tenure as director of BDT. I've known you for many, many years doing the work that you do. And for this, we are truly, truly appreciative. The BDT is the most critical sector within the ITU for us as developing countries. And we look forward to building and continuing to build on this engagement here this week in Belize. It's just another step in the road that we have. I know our Prime Minister could have been here, and I want to extend, welcome to him from the CTU as well as, again, having all of these ministers here. It signals to us the importance that is being placed on regional collaboration and the support for regional integration and the movement that we have. So again, we appreciate your show of support. In closing, and with these few words, I welcome all of you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and I encourage you to stay engaged with the CTU beyond our strategic and planning sessions that will take place today. I want us to widen and deepen our regional network, whether you're in the ICT sector or whether you have some other wider interest. I personally look forward to the days ahead to share my own thoughts on how we can advance the regional agenda on things like the CARICOM single ICT space and the One Digital Caribbean. And I also look forward to seeing more of San Ignacio and what it has to offer. So I'll just add that piece in between. Again, so I extend my thanks on behalf of the CTU to Minister Chibrat and to the people of Belize for your genuine hospitality and interest in the CTU, to the team at the Ministry of Public Utilities, to the team at the CTU Secretariat, hardworking team that we have, our sponsors, all our stakeholders, and to everyone in attendance today. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And we are very happy to be hosting you here in Belize again. I'd like to think that Minister Shabat is a little biased in choosing San Ignacio because he has roots here, but I am also biased because I have family roots here too, and I think he's chosen an excellent destination for this. And of course, I'd like to highlight some of the key things that you mentioned, which speaks to the importance of this gathering, which is integration, resilience, advancement, and just working together to build these regional organizations. Now, the ministerial retreat is designed to foster interactive and open discussions among ICT ministers as the region's foremost policymakers in the sector. This gathering will offer a unique opportunity to engage with regional counterparts and the ITU, a key stakeholder of the CTU. Joining us on behalf of the ITU is Dr. Cosmas Zavazava, Director of the Telecommunication Development Bureau. Dr. Zavazava, I understand you're visiting us all the way from Zimbabwe, is it? And we are more than happy that Belize is your first stop in the Caribbean since you've been elected to office in 2022. So I ask you to please now join me at the podium to deliver your remarks.
I would like to greet you, and before I do that, I would like to recognize the Honorable John Antonio Breseño, Prime Minister of Belize, in absentia. Honorable Senator Hasselbachas, Minister of Digital Transformation, Trinidad and Tobago, President of CTU, you spoke well, and thank you for quoting me. Honorable Michelle Shabat, Minister of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, and E-Governance of the Government of Belize. Honorable Rodney Taylor, Secretary General of the Caribbean Telecommunication Union. I quote again. Someone said the art of hospitality is a part of God's work of love, and we feel loved. We are very grateful. It is not often that your host goes out of their way to make everyone's presence felt and make them feel at home. But in my country, we say that you must be good to the visitors for the first 2 days. And the third day, give them a hoe to go to the field. So I will be leaving tomorrow morning before you give me a hoe. I'm going to talk about very simple things. I want to unmask technology and show a human face. I think I'm going to avoid any jargon that has to do with the technology, but I think technology is a tool that we should be able to make available in an affordable, meaningful way to every living human being, and that is important. For us to do that, it is, I think, the Chinese who said, if you clap your hands, you can't tell which two fingers make the greatest noise. We need partnerships. We need multidisciplinary participation, multi-sectoral participation, because technology is a catalyst to everything that we believe in and want to achieve. So I call upon all member states here present, under the CTU leadership, and with the support and assistance of the International Telecommunication Union, because we don't exist when you don't exist. So we are there to serve you. We are the oldest United Nations organization, a unique situation where a parent is younger than the child. The United Nations was formed way after us. We were established in 1865, but we didn't become a dinosaur. We have been evolving and adapting to the power of technology. I remember when I was in South Korea, the president said, we don't have any natural resources, but what we have is what is between our ears, the intellectual power. And that is the driving force that we should make sure is available to everyone who is willing and able to learn. Digital skills are critical so that people can use technology in a meaningful way, but also safely, because there are bad guys on the highway. And it is our duty to make sure that we make that happen. The small island developing states are small because dynamites come in small packages. So you are very agile, very enabling. And this particular region, the Caribbean region, has been leading the way, because in 1994, in the Barbados, was launched the first international meeting for small island developing states. And that leadership lives on. I didn't attend that, but I attended the ministerial that followed. In fact, not the ministerial, the United Nations International Conference for Seeds in Mauritius. And I also attended the one in Samoa. We have made great strides, and together, I know that we will make real progress. Through technology, we should be able to achieve most of the sustainable development goals, particularly that the international community is not living up to the set targets of achieving the SDGs, as also we didn't achieve much under the Millennium Development Goals. So we are there to make sure that technology becomes a tool and a servant of the people, and it should not dictate to us. So when the Minister of Trinidad and Tobago spoke about artificial intelligence, we must look at the good that it brings, but we must also look at the challenges and the bad that it brings. And we must be managing the environment in such a way that we police without stifling innovation. I wanted to thank the private sector, in this case Huawei, for being a good citizen. I understand you sponsored this event, which is a great event. And you are welcome to continue to do the great work that you are doing with ITU, because through you, we are able to reach out and to impact real people, real countries, and real regions. And that is important for us. Your technology opens doors of opportunities and choice to people. And we would like to make sure that we work hand in hand with the industry, private sector, academia in terms of research and understanding the gaps that do exist. We are just there to serve. Don't hesitate to ask or to propose ideas. We don't claim to know it all. So please do participate in our study groups where the meeting of minds happens. Do attend our advisory development board, which is the TDAG, and attend also, of course, our conferences, which are statutory. We are in the process now of preparing our World Telecommunication Development Conference, which is going to take place in 2025. As we embark on that journey, we will be holding a series of regional preparatory meetings where we hope you will participate. I was leading the preparation of projects in 2012 when we met in Panama, and under the initiative called Connect the World Series. And I remember we had a discussion there that the position of small island developing states in this particular region had to be fully embraced and recognized. So we had in that thick book of projects that we were pitching to the private sector to have a special section for the small island developing states so that we would fully address the priorities of you with your unique needs that we all recognize. You are small, but agile. You are vulnerable to natural disasters, but technology can come to the rescue. Remote sensing is a technology of choice. Geographical information systems also available for you, artificial intelligence, big data, etc. So we are there to make sure that this technology becomes a tool that will serve your interests. I met the Minister of Education of Trinidad and Tobago, and we are happy that you are here because one of our main efforts is to make sure that the young people have, from the very young age, a culture of cybersecurity. But also, those are the ones who are helping the grandmothers and grandfathers in understanding the modern technology. And that is very important. And that's why we uphold an approach of intergenerational discussion. The young, the adults, and the elderly. We should not leave anyone behind. We consider ourselves privileged to be in this unique position. The minister said the development sector is the sector of high priority to developing countries. Yes, we take all the technical work from our scientists in the other two sectors, and we make sure that we model it in a way that it can be digested and absorbed to make a difference to people's lives. Epidemics break, and I will tell you the Ebola broke around 2014. And through big data, we managed to design, I was the one who was honored to be asked to design a program on an application which would make it possible to track people anonymously. So we had to de-anonymize, to make sure that nobody would de-anonymize the data, and you could see from morning people waking up and the mobile phone being active and the person moving from one place to the other, and you could pretty much calculate the numbers going to a particular village, and the health workers would know this person came from an infected area, and they would say, we are quarantining this village which we visited. That is important. COVID brought its challenges, but I thank my predecessor, Madame Doreen Bogdan. She launched Connected to Recover, a program which we rolled out here as well to make sure that people would continue, and business continuity is very important. After natural disasters, I was privileged to go into the theater in the field, and we set up telemedicine centers to make sure that the injured would be diagnosed by specialists from far distances away, and it worked wonders. So let's do things that will make a difference in people's lives, internally displaced persons, conflict situations, reconstruction and recovery. Saving people is what we think we should be focusing on. So I want to call upon the CTU not to hesitate to be working with us. We work with everyone because we are created by everyone, and that is what makes us relevant, because we also run the risk that we may become irrelevant, and we don't want to do that. All the sectors, the environment sector, we are there to work with them. The health sector, agriculture, the fear of droughts, El Nino, etc. That is difficult. So we have a huge project that we can roll out here, the GovStack project, that makes it possible for government to create a safe platform where they can share data in a secure way, and we build confidence. And with these words, I want to congratulate you once again for this great retreat. It is a great way, and encourage you to extend these retreats between the private sector and the operators in your countries, so that there should not be any suspicion but also breakfast meetings between ministers and the regulators, because I know in a number of countries there are great fights because the regulator generates millions or billions of dollars, and sometimes it is meant to finance universal service, to go to rural areas, non-profit areas. And I will say this, and you will excuse me, as we go towards elections, normally the ministers dig into the pocket and do other things with the money. So I encourage you to bridge the gaps in a country where the haves and the have-nots have a divide, and particularly those who live in a remote rural areas, for they too have a right to access, and to be utilizing the modern technologies for their well-being. And we in ITU, we are ready to provide you with the expertise that we have, but our expertise is not complete without your expertise. So together, I think we can make a difference. And thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director. Indeed, we must focus on intergenerational improvement to increase development in the region as it relates to ICT technologies. Director, you mentioned that you had a first good day and a first second day, and you'll make your decision tomorrow. I just ran through the agenda for tomorrow. I see we have set an archaeological tour to San Antonich here. To many of you, might be the first time you're visiting a Mayan archaeological site. So I believe you can make your decision from now for the third day to be excellent. So I believe you can make a decision on Belize as being an excellent host. We can just put that on the record. Thank you so much again for your remarks. This week's events are being co-hosted in partnership with the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, and E-Governance within the government of Belize. At the helm of this ministry is your gracious host, the Honorable Michelle Shabat, who is tasked with leading and supporting public sector digital transformational programs to achieve a digital Belize, and of course, by extension, for Belize to serve as a digital partner within the region. Please join me in welcoming Minister Shabat to deliver his feature address. Minister.
Thank you very much. This morning, as we gathered and we waited for the official commencement of this program, Rodney reached over and asked me, what is the name of that instrument? And I said to him, it's a marimba. And Dr. Zavazava said, we also have a similar instrument, and we also call it a marimba. How interesting. And I say that simply to highlight how connected we really are. So, welcome to everyone on behalf of the government of Belize. And I crave your indulgence in really recognizing our ministers who have made a very special effort to be here and to make this retreat a success. And in that regard, I want to recognize Senator the Honorable Hasselbachus from Trinidad and Tobago, our President of the CTU and the Minister of Digital Transformation. I want to recognize His Excellency Leon Williams, Ambassador of the Bahamas to the ITU, the Honorable Marcia Cadle of Barbados, Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment, the Honorable Hayden Hughes from Anguilla, the Minister of Infrastructure, Communications, Utilities, Housing and Tourism, the Honorable Otis Morris of Turks and Caicos, Minister of Home Affairs, Transportation, Broadcasting, Energy and Utilities and Telecommunications Commission. Sounds very much like my ministry. The Honorable Conris Maynard, St. Kitts and Nevis, Minister of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities, Domestic Transportation, Information, Communication, Technology and Post. In other words, the Minister of Everything in St. Kitts and Nevis. Welcome. The Honorable Shakira Lockhart from Dominica, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and Digital Economy, with specific responsibility for public utilities. The Honorable Hayden Watson from the Bahamas, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs. From Belize, I am pleased that the Honorable Kevin Bernard, the Minister of Health and Wellness, has joined us, and similarly, the Honorable Louis Zabané, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. I also wish to welcome in a very special way Dr. Cosmos Zavazava, the Director of the Telecommunications Development Bureau of the International Telecommunications Union. Sir, we're pleased that you have joined us, and your presence makes this seminar even so much more important. Our Secretary General, Sir Rodney Taylor, thank you very much, sir. To all the permanent secretaries, heads of regional organization, and members of the diplomatic corps, members of our executive council, partners and sponsors, specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the government and people of Belize, let me say once again a very warm welcome to all of you to San Ignacio in the Cayo district here in beautiful Belize. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister, who was supposed to join us, could not join us, and he sends his regrets, and he also sends his greetings. This is a district that is very dear to me, as you all have heard, and so it is truly an honor to welcome my CTU colleagues here to participate in the very first ministerial retreat hosted by the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. It is the first time also that we are welcoming the Director of the Bureau of Telecoms Development to Belize in his new capacity. Dr. Zavazava, welcome, and it is an honor. Let me also make special mention of the President of the CTU, Senator the Honorable Hasselbachus of Trinidad and Tobago, and to all of you who are visiting Belize or San Ignacio for the first time. We began the week, of course, with the 50th Executive Council meeting and the 21st Ministerial Seminar. And today, we will change the focus of the meeting to look at the strategic direction of the CTU over the next 4 years. We will also take the opportunity to reflect on our past performance and how the mandate of the CTU is being impacted by the rapid technological changes taking place in the ICT arena. Belize is and has been a strong supporter of CARICOM, having hosted the 33rd Intersessional Meeting of Heads of Government in San Pedro in March 2022 while serving as chairman of CARICOM. It was at that meeting that heads of government ratified the agreement brokered by the CTU with the Caribbean telecoms operators to drastically reduce roaming charges within the CARICOM single ICT space, known as the Declaration of St. George's, towards the reduction of intra-CARICOM roaming charges. The CTU is committed to moving this forward to the point where there is total and complete elimination of roaming charges altogether within CARICOM. We must work feverishly towards this and other matters in the interest of our ICT stakeholders. Therefore, it is vitally important that we come together as a network of policymakers and ICT advisors and practitioners in support of our wider regional development agenda within the context of the CARICOM single market and economy and the CARICOM single ICT space. Belize has a unique position within CARICOM. While it is geographically situated in Central America, it has strong historical, cultural, and economic ties to the Caribbean region. And let me stick a pin here. Yesterday morning at breakfast, we offered to our ministers and our guests fried jacks. And so we were comparing with the other ministers that we all have a similar bread, so to call it, in all of our Caribbean territories. And so we are joined by so many factors. Membership in CARICOM strengthens Belize's political and diplomatic relations with other Caribbean nations. It provides a platform for dialogue and collaboration on regional and international issues affecting the Caribbean community. Belize contributes to shaping regional policies and initiatives through active participation in CARICOM meetings, summits, and working groups. Overall, Belize's membership in CARICOM reflects its commitment to regional integration, cooperation, and solidarity with neighboring Caribbean countries. In this regard, I raised the matter of the hosting of this meeting with the Secretary General of the CTU early last year, and I am pleased that it has finally come to fruition. I know the CTU has hosted a Caribbean ICT roadshow here in March of 2024, which was aimed at promoting awareness of the transformative power of ICT through the length and breadth of Belize. CTU has also worked in the past on the development of a national ICT and innovation policy, which has supported our broader development aspirations. As Minister with responsibility for ICTs within the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, and E-Governance, I welcome this kind of collaboration and wholeheartedly support the CTU's effort to advance the CARICOM single ICT space. Here in Belize, the telecommunications market remains competitive and continues to grow with respect to meaningful connectivity for citizens of this country. Still, affordable connectivity remains a challenge in rural communities, and this is an area that will require concerted effort to ensure that no one is left behind as we advance our national ICT agenda. In this regard, I'm happy to engage with international partners such as the ITU, in particular with the Bureau of Telecoms Development, to see how we can collectively address these challenges. Dr. Zavazava and I have been having very fruitful discussions since he has arrived. I have actually kind of taken him over from everybody else, and please forgive me for doing so. There are a number of things that I would like to follow up on with you and your team within the coming months ahead. The government of Belize is committed to competition in the market, improving access and service quality for customers, promoting innovative technological solutions, and seeking progressive vendors for telecommunications hardware and software. Therefore, I also wish to express my appreciation to our private sector partners here who have been bringing us up to speed with developments in the industry such as 5G, cybersecurity, and green and sustainable energy solutions. I am fully aware of the concerns raised by some of our local and regional stakeholders regarding the impact of big tech companies that provide over-the-top services via local access network and the impact this is having on their ability to sustainably invest in next-generation technologies. There is an ongoing process to look at this issue, what we refer to as fair share network contributions within CARICOM, and I would like to see this matter resolved within a reasonable time frame and to the benefit of all stakeholders. There is a lot to be done. While we grapple with affordable and meaningful connectivity, the world gallops along with advances in artificial intelligence, smart cities, autonomous vehicles, quantum computing, the Internet of Things, cloud computing, and other things. We want the best for our citizens here in the Caribbean. We want our young people not just to be consumers of technology developed outside of the region, but to be equipped with the skills that will help them to be active contributors to the development of these technologies and to become world-class innovators and entrepreneurs. This must be the heart of the mandate of CTU as we move forward, the creation of an environment at the regional level that is conducive to the development of our young people in this new technological era. I call on us, therefore, to take ownership of this institution called the CTU, but more than that, to see it as not just another CARICOM institution, but as an integral part of and an enabler of our national ambitions. This year, the CTU turns 35, and this gives us the perfect opportunity to pause and reflect on our achievements, what has worked and what has not worked, so that we can move forward with renewed energy. I will be calling on the CTU as the government of Belize moves ahead with digital initiatives aimed at enhancing public service delivery and citizen engagement. This includes the implementation of e-government services for online payments, permits and licenses, and access to government information. These developments, of course, raise the issue of cybersecurity, and this is an area in particular that requires stronger collaboration. Belize has prioritized cybersecurity awareness and capacity building initiatives to strengthen digital resilience and to enhance protection against cyber threats. Training programs and workshops have been conducted to educate businesses and individuals on cybersecurity best practices. I will also want to hear from my ministerial colleagues on their own efforts to promote ICT education and skill development. Locally, institutions like the University of Belize offers programs in computer science, information technology, and digital media to nurture local talent and meet industry demands for skilled ICT professionals. I am certain this is also an area that would benefit from stronger collaboration at the wider regional level. I want to conclude my brief remarks, well, not so brief, by once again expressing my sincere honor to host all of you here in San Ignacio. Dr. Zavazava, please convey our regards to the Secretary General, Bogdan Martin, and we look forward to welcoming her in St. Kitts and Nevis in September later this year. I must underscore our appreciation that you have all taken the time to be with us here this week and to be a part of the process as we take a look at the strategic direction of the CTU. Your support is very important to us. The BDT plays a pivotal role within the ITU by driving ICT development agenda, providing technical assistance and capacity building, fostering partnerships, and supporting member states in harnessing the transformative power of ICTs for sustainable development. We know that you are no stranger to the Caribbean region, and we endeavor to build on your support here this week to take our relationship with you and with the BDT forward. Let me pause and thank the CTU staff for the incredible work that they have been doing so far, and I know that this will continue to the end of the conference. To my incredible staff from the Ministry of Public Utilities, thank you so very much for the hard work you've put in. To Huawei, thank you for your partnership and the leadership you have provided in ICT technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a productive day ahead and look forward over the next 2 days that we have here in the Cayo District to engaging with you and showing you a warm Belizean welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Shabat. You certainly shared a whole lot of information. I'm not sure what parts to pick out, except to say that I know that this is an important sector and one that you have championed well since taking over the ministry. And Belize has done so much to promote digital literacy, promote connectivity, with the building of digital connect centers, to having courses for public officers to build their digital skills. So certainly we're again proud to be hosting this inaugural retreat, and we can check that on our list as a milestone for Belize. And we're also proud that we can be a champion, not only a champion, but a leader where we're walking the walk. We're not only talking about it. And I'd like to also mention that I know you'll be taking a visit to the Shenantonich Archaeological Site. I hope you'll be joining Dr. Zavazava. But certainly when we look back at this time, we wonder what technologies did they use to be able to create such fascinating infrastructure. And 35 years from now, our children and future generations will be asking what ideas and how did they come up with all the technologies they'll be using then. And so this is an exciting opening. I know deliberations have already started and you're going into even more deliberations. But we are at the end of our program for today, and I'd like to thank all our speakers for your wonderful and inspiring presentations, which certainly set the tone for why we're here, our distinguished guests, our online audience, for joining us for this opening ceremony as we continue discussions on shaping Caribbean ICT development. And I will not say until next time, I will say let's stay connected. Thank you very much. I'd also like to invite the ministers to get ready for the photo op, which will be at the back of the room. We're asking if everyone can join, meet up at the terrace for the photo op, please. Thank you.